Such a big game, and if you're going to permit me to kind of walk here, such a big game that we actually are out in the parking lot at the moment. Everything is still locked up, which is kind of how Berlin's defense has been the last couple of weeks, locking down opponents. Obviously, there have been some greats that have played here at St. Francis, but there's plenty of room on that back wall. Jessica Kovac, she's got plenty of time. She's only a freshman. The decision to play the game on grass here at Conover Township High School definitely matters, but it doesn't affect Berlin more than it does Clairton or vice versa. If you look at the offenses for either team, they're built on big plays and scoring touchdowns off of those big plays. Berlin and Clairton have played 26 combined games this season, and in those 26 games, they've scored 40-plus points in every single game except for one. When these gates open in 2 days' time, fans will get to see some really high-level prospects in the Pirates organization. Yeah, the Capitals definitely have the momentum, and they're getting a boost coming into Game 6. D-man Brooks Orpik comes back after a 3-game suspension. It was a lot more optimistic going into that final period, and then sports, man.
Oh, I'm so great. I am the greatest. Who do y'all think the champ is?
Muhammad Ali had a way with words.
If you like to lose your money, then be a fool and bet on Sunday.
We all know float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. It's as much a part of Ali's legacy as his efforts in the ring. That legacy lives on here in Johnstown.
I love the people here. They're awesome. I think it's something fun to do. I really enjoy it.
Meet Olivia Rager, Max Leasock, and Darren Replogle, 3 young boxers from Castle Boxing Club. They work out of FWA Gym in downtown Johnstown under the watchful eye of Brock Cole.
I just love doing it. It's something I love doing. My coaches always motivate me.
I like being on yourself. Like in a team sport, sometimes it's the team that, you can do all you can do, but in boxing, it's all yourself. There's no one else in the ring with you.
And they'll be in the ring this weekend in Kentucky. 3 fights, part of an event in Ashland, just a couple hours away from Louisville, Muhammad Ali's hometown.
He had his morals, he had his guideposts, and he went after what he wanted and what he felt was right, and he stuck to it.
That's how they're training these kids. Just like Ali, be yourself inside the ring. Fight your fight.
Everybody says I'm a different person inside the ring than outside of the ring.
He was one of the greatest fighters out there. Huge impact on the world.
We don't train everybody exactly the same. We take their individuality, work with it, and build on it, and allow them to be themselves, and that's what helps them win.
This is a sound Jessica Kovac and St. Francis fans are getting used to hearing. When the ball is in her hands, it's probably going in.
Playing the minutes I play every game and, scoring the way I have been, I'm shocking myself, and, I didn't think I'd be like this much of an impact for the team when I first came here.
Her impact has been immediate, but it almost didn't happen. Kovac verbally committed to Lemoyne College in Syracuse. When she came on her visit to St. Francis, it was her last official recruiting trip. And then, something changed.
When I heard of the playing style here, I was just like, that sounds like a lot of fun, running up and down and shooting. And how he said, he wants, shots up, all the time. So I was like, that sounds perfect.
Obviously, there have been some greats that have played here at St. Francis, but there's plenty of room on that back wall. Jessica Kovac, she's got plenty of time. She's only a freshman. And she's racked up the awards this season, a record 13 Northeastern Conference Rookie of the Week awards. She's also the leading freshman scorer in the country, averaging over 21 points a game.
When I was playing my first game here, that was surprising, the minutes I played. And I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of what I can do. And then when I first got the Rookie of the Week, I was like, oh, wow, that's awesome. I wasn't playing to get that, so I was just like, oh, that's cool. Then I got it again.
The recognition is a great compliment to her hard work, but Kovac wants to be one of the best. And the best are judged by one standard: championships.
I know they came to a lot of championships here, so I was like, maybe I can win a championship when I come here.
And Loretto, I'm Brett Hiltbrand, 6 Sports.
Now, your 6 Sports Report.
Of course, you wouldn't leave them sit out if you weren't going to. Oh my goodness, did you feel that? I felt that over here. Did you feel that? It literally vibrated.
The Pittsburgh Pirates are a tired ball club right now, and when you're tired, bad things happen. Case in point, radio announcer Bob Walk's decision to hit the deck in the middle of the Buccos game against Seattle last night. Granted, it was like 1 a.m. here when this happened, so maybe his body's still on that Pittsburgh clock, and it was time to shut her down for the night, and that's where we begin the sportscast this evening, because while Bob Walk was perhaps taking a dive to get in an early snooze, the Pirates' bats finally came alive last night, and that's good news for this tired ball club. They have a much-needed day off today. They actually have been at a ballpark, either PNC or on the road, 47 of the last 48 days, thanks to a brutal schedule and some makeup games. And in turn, the results during that stretch have not been that great. Scored 8 runs last night, though, however, against Seattle, and hit the ball hard all night long as well. So maybe the turnaround they need going into July. The road to Rio has been going on for Olympic athletes for a few days and weeks, but our Paralympians get things started a little bit later tonight. That includes Max Roan. Hopefully you got a chance to see Kerry Osip's story last night on him. He's a Penn Stater with a great shot to make Team USA in the field throwing events, javelin, shot put, discus. 2016 Paralympics are in September, about a month or so after the Olympics begin. And speaking of, you can watch the swimming Olympic trials later tonight on WJAC. Tomorrow night, you can watch the swimming and the track and field trials. And also keep your eyes peeled for Bishop McCourt grad Brownsville native Jim Spizak. He qualified in the 10K. He's running professionally now after a tremendous career at Duquesne. You can watch those trials starting at 9 tomorrow night. Swimming starts at 8. And the trivia question is about Bishop McCourt track and field. Who was the last Crimson Crusher to compete at the Team USA track and field trials? The answer, Patty Bradley back in 1980. She would have to wait 4 more years for her Olympic dreams to come true, however. Qualified for the 84 Olympics in Los Angeles. Thanks to McCourt track and field coach Greg Bixel for that tidbit. So there's your trivia. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.